Okay? Here we go. 3 beats. 1 and 2, 3.
to see where after the same rainbow's end, waiting round the bend, my huckleberry friend, Moon River, and me. Oh, dream maker, you heartbreaker, wherever you're going, I'm going your way. Two drifters off to see the world. There's such a lot of world to see. We're after the same rainbow's end, waiting round the bend, my huckleberry friend, Moon River, and me.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Unity of Venice. I took my labyrinth walk this morning, as I always do on Sunday morning, and it's just beautiful. That last row, as you look at the labyrinth and enter, the last row there's a couple of Buddhas there, there's some angels, there's looks like St. Francis, maybe Mary. Anyway, it just sort of feels they're a little taller than the other articles there, and it sort of, to me, feels like they're kind of watching over everything. When I got to there's a big statue in the middle, it's about this tall, of an angel. But when I got there, I noticed that there was a was a drop of water on the end of the angel's nose. So I wiped it. And I thought, geez, maybe, even angels have runny noses. So actually sounds like a children's book for me. So I've got the title, and just hold your breath, and that'll be coming soon. So that's all I have today. I just wanted to say hi to y'all, and let's do some singing.
We have come together as a
Amen and amen. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Unity of Venice. It's our joy to be back here after being in attendance at our Board of Trustees retreat, which I'll tell you more about during my message. I'm Reverend Robin Ryder, your senior minister.
And I'm Leslie Ellenson, your associate minister.
It's our honor to have you with us, and we welcome our online family watching from all over the world. Thank you for being part of us. And then we'd also like to extend a special welcome. If it is your first Sunday morning celebrating with us, our team has a bag of goodies. There's cookies in the bag. Reverend Leslie and I would like to say a quick good morning. So if it is your first Sunday with us, we just need you to pop a hand up real quick so we can get you your bag of goodies and say hello.
Welcome, welcome, I'm glad you're here with me. Did you know you're one with God for eternity? Welcome, welcome, I'm glad you're here with me. You're not a stranger anymore, now you're family. Welcome, welcome to Venice Unity. Spirit's led you to a place you're truly meant to be. Welcome, welcome, I'm glad you're here with me. You're not a stranger anymore, we're friends and family.
We're honored that you joined us this morning. That necklace is our opportunity to welcome you, and it also is your key to get to go first in line in God's Cafe for lunch after church, which is right down the hallway. So I want to acknowledge these stunningly perfect altar flowers this morning have been sponsored by Linda and I, because this Wednesday, July 30th, is our 20th wedding anniversary. And I just have to give a special thank you. Sandy Kreidler is one of the members of our flower team, and the first year we sponsored flowers for our anniversary, she asked us about specifics, and we told her, and so she makes a point, because Linda carried a bouquet of green hydrangeas, and I carried a bouquet of pink roses, and when we got to the altar, we joined them into the same vase, and so she always makes sure that we have green hydrangeas and pink roses, and I so appreciate your dedication to that, Sandy. Thank you so much for blessing us with that. All right, so we're going to take a breath and move into our holy space. Reverend Leslie's going to lead us in our opening time of prayer.
Good morning. This is the moment in our service where we call out all the names of people we want to hold up in prayer for whatever reason. Usually it's health and healing and wholeness, but it can be any of all of life's dilemmas and problems. Did you know we have problems? Wow. Issues, concerns, worries, fear. Fear is false evidence appearing real, but it shows up. This is the moment that we call out those names, and you call out your own name too, and we go into a collective prayer. So let me hear those names. Beautiful. I invite you to close your eyes or just lower your gaze. In this divine and sacred moment, we go within, and we hold up all the names that have been called out, and all the other names that we kept within, that are still in our minds and on our hearts. We hold up all these beautiful divine beings, and we see them in their perfection, coming into their wholeness, to their absolute health. We see them as perfect pictured sources and pictures and parts of the God source. For we know that we are each a divine being having a human lifetime. We are spirit, we are pure, we are complete. And to that extent, we also hold up our community. We start with Venice. We see it as peaceful and calm, even at the traffic circles. We hold it up, and we go out into the greater world, and we see peace breaking out all over. that the whole world catches on to the idea that we have here at Unity of Venice of being light workers. And so it is. Amen. And I invite you to join with me in reciting our Unity foundational principle or statement. There is only one presence and one power in the universe and in my life. God, the good, omnipotent. Thanks.
This is a great one for you if you're so moved to join us. It's basically the same verse over and over, and it just changes a little bit at the beginning. Our thoughts are prayers, my words are prayers, my life's a prayer. So please, join us. 2 beats. 1 and 2 and...
Our thoughts are prayers, and we are always praying. Our thoughts are prayers. Be careful what you're saying. Seek a higher consciousness, a state of peacefulness, and know that God is always there. And every thought becomes a prayer. Prayers, and I am always praying. My words are prayers. I'm careful what I'm saying. Seek a higher consciousness, a state of peacefulness, and know that God is always there. And every thought becomes a prayer. Choose a higher consciousness, a state of peacefulness, and know that God is always there. And every thought becomes a prayer. My life's a prayer, and I am always praying. My life's a prayer. I'm careful what I'm saying. Choose a higher consciousness, a state of peacefulness, and know that God is always there. And know that God is always there. And every thought becomes a prayer.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Jackie Wands, and I'm honored to read the Daily Word today. A perfect word for this last Sunday of July: authentic. I live proudly as my authentic self. One of the best ways to feel the fullness of my divinity is to express the uniqueness of my humanity. There is no one on earth who is exactly like me. No one who has my history and my experiences. No one who has my particular talents and gifts. I make the world a richer place when I show up as the person I am. If I am too timid to share my gifts, if I carry shame or regret about my past, or if I feel afraid to let others see the real me, I am not being my authentic self. Authenticity means being who I am with confidence. I am a divine being, a child of God. I take my place in the world with joy, knowing I belong here just as much as everyone else. Rooted in my divinity, I celebrate my humanity by being my authentic self. For all who are led by the Spirit of God are children of God. Romans 8:14.
Good morning, light workers. I wait all week to say that. I love it. I really do. Okay, the reading today comes from The 5 Principles, A Guide to Practical Spirituality by Ellen Davenport, a Unity publication. People who insist, I love this part, people who insist that humans are divine are often accused of thinking they are God. And the secret is, we are. Just as every tree is God in expression, just as every sunset or newborn child or act of mercy allows us to witness the divine, we too are expressions of God on earth. We are the divine expressing in human form. At first, it may sound grandiose to claim it, but properly understood, the awareness of our own divinity is where we derive our comfort, guidance, and strength for the human experience. We can never be separate from God, and we have only begun to tap the power of the human spirit. This is what Jesus tried to say so many times and to show us. Jesus was demonstrating what is possible for human beings when we fully align with the presence of God within us. He was able to love and forgive, heal and teach because he was living from his God self, or the Christ presence within him. And he said we could do the same. His single life changed the course of human history. The same divine essence Jesus had dwells in each of us, imperfect as we are. Thank you.
Carry on treading softly as you go. Carry on knowing all that you know. Carry on with the confidence of the stars above, for you were born in the radiance of love. Carry on in the joy of your path, never missing a moment to laugh. Hold the hand of a beloved, lean into the wind, and in each day find your shelter again. Carry on as your lives call you forth. Carry on fully knowing your worth. May you bring to this world what the world longs to know, and be brave in the living, then let go. Carry on more together than apart, keeping tender the country of your heart. When you come to that place where you cannot see, walk on anyway into the sacred mystery. Carry on to thy spirit, be true. May the breath of sweet heaven breathe in you. Behold all the beauty in both shadows and light, and remember how loved you are tonight. Behold
Good morning. My name is Jewel Kachera, and as a member of your spiritual care team, I am happy to fill your heart with a meditation this morning. And all of our beautiful people that are available today can pray with you after service. Just flag us down. We're happy to pray with you for the week, and then these prayer slips go to Kansas City, where they are prayed for the entire month. So lots of prayers. Okay, so this morning, I would like for you to just feel yourself relaxing into your seat, and if it feels comfortable, softly close your eyes with feet planted, Mother Earth energy coming up through your feet, Father Sky energy coming down from the crown, blending together with that Mother Earth energy in your heart space. And so Spirit tapped me, gave me a word, water. Water. Think about the water in your own personal body, from the tips of your toes moving through each and every joint of your toes, your feet, up through your ankles, that water connecting blood, the water that is that healing life within you, moving all the way up through your legs into your hips. Water, beautiful water that has truly connected us from the beginning of time. And as that water, that sacred, blessed water, moves up into every single one of your organs, blood vessels, bones, every part of your body, every single cell in your body, blessed, sacred water, connecting it all the way up into every valve, every blood vessel, every single part of who you are, that sacred water, all the way up into your neck, your shoulders, arms, hands, every single droplet of water in the cranial fluid, the synovial fluid connecting the joints, every single sacred drop of water within you that connects you to every single droplet of water on the planet, the waterways, the icebergs, the rain, the forest, the trees, water, sacred water, out to every single one, every single person, everywhere. Mataquiasin, all my relations, blessing that water, first within yourself, every droplet throughout your entire body. Taking that now and blessing within your mind, heart, and soul every single person on our planet, every droplet of water, everywhere present in the silence. bringing yourself gently back to this beautiful sacred sanctuary and blessing all of the ancestors who have come before us, who have shared their blood, their sweat, their tears, every single one of them that came before us, and those that are with us on this journey, and those who will come after us. Aho, Matakwe Eisen, all my relations, and so it is.
Carry on to thy spirit be true. May the breath of sweet heaven breathe in you. Behold all the beauty in both shadows and light, and remember how loved you are tonight. Behold all the beauty in both shadows and light, and remember how loved you are tonight. Carry on.
Thank you so much. That song has a sacred space for me. It was written by my friend Marcy Baruch and was a key to helping me navigate through my cancer journey 7 years ago. So it's a song of great hope and light for me. So as I shared at the beginning, last weekend, you were being mightily blessed by the beautiful lights that are Armand and Angelina. Did you love them? Yes. And the Board of Trustees and I were away on our retreat. This is actually the first one we've gotten to go on for several years. COVID and logistics and schedules and budget kind of got in the way. So we were very excited to do that. So I'd quickly like to ask the Board of Trustees to stand. I just want to make sure you know who these folks are. Ali Nieves there is our board president. Amy McEnany in the pink is our vice president. Chris Dukes, all the way in the back, is our secretary. Sue Hunter here in the front is our treasurer. Our two trustees are Lisa Figueroa and Jim Thompson, who's traveling right now, and our alternate is Jackie Wands. So we give thanks to our board. So this year we went to Sebring, which is in the middle of the state and the middle of nowhere. We saw lots of cows and goats and horses and farms, so we on Friday, our first order of business was the order of business, our business meeting, monthly business meeting. So we took care of the business, and then we had a nice dinner, and then we explored historic downtown Sebring on the Circle. Which, do we have any fans of the HGTV network in the room? And particularly the show called Hometown with Ben and Erin Napier. They recently did what they call a hometown takeover, and they redid downtown Sebring. So we got to go through and see. We went to the ice cream shop they redid, and we visited the restaurant they did, and there's cutouts of them everywhere. So we got our pictures with Ben and Erin on many places. And then on Saturday, we went to Unity of Sebring, and we spent the day with their board of trustees and leadership. And their spiritual leader is my wonderful friend Trish Yancey. She is a licensed Unity teacher leading their church, but she is in the ministerial education program and on the path to ordination, which will happen next summer. And I am going to have the honor of going and ordaining her in front of her congregation. So she's a dear friend of mine. And so we spent the day learning more about ourselves, learning about one another, learning how we function as a team. We did lots of different experiences. We laughed, we cried, we sang, and it was a wonderful day joining together with another Unity community in that way. And then we had another nice dinner. And then on Sunday, we attended church at Unity of Sebring. And I had the privilege of doing the meditation. Lisa was the guest soloist, singing for them, blowing them away as she always does, and Trish did the message. And so it was a great weekend, and it's rare that I get to sit in church and be spiritually fed, but that's what I got to do, and her message inspired me for this morning. She talked about several things, but one of the pieces that she did was a quick lesson on Unity's 5 essential principles. And I thought it would be a good time to do that. I try to circle back around to them, but I remember it was earlier this year we had a guest speaker that during her message said something to the effect of, what's Unity's 3rd principle? And there were like crickets in the room. And I thought, I've got to do a better job of teaching this. Unity, we are non-dogmatic, but we do have a set of 5 principles that are kind of the foundation under our faith. And so I'm going to give you kind of the quickie short-term, the Cliff Notes version of that this morning. Because I could spend a whole 5 weeks, one on each principle, but I want to give you the touch points and hopefully give you a way that you can call them to mind. And the easiest way is, not long ago, someone came up with a very quick recitation of them, which is, God is, I am, I think, I pray, I live. So, say them with me. God is, I am, I think, I pray, I live. Okay. So now I'll give you a little bit more about what those phrases mean, but if you can only just capture those 10 words, ideally it will bring them to the forefront as you're thinking about them. And I'm actually going to jump to the end. I'm going to jump to principle number 5, which is I live. Because principle number 5 states that it is not enough to learn these principles, to read about these principles, to listen to these principles on Sunday mornings. We must live these principles. So principle 5 is what comes in, Unity is known as practical Christianity. And Unity is not a spectator sport. It is about implementing each of these principles in our everyday life, not just for 1 hour on a Sunday. It's about living them day in, day out, moment by moment, circumstance by circumstance, challenge by challenge, to implement these principles in how we think, in how we act, in how we feel, and how we believe. So that's the one that kind of wraps them all, the 5th principle. But we'll start out with God is. God is. And essentially, we affirm this principle at the beginning of the service every Sunday morning. There's only one presence and one power in the universe and in my life. So the first principle of unity has to do with the nature of God, that God is the energy, the essence, and the principle that permeates all things. God is the container, like this pitcher that's containing this water. God is the container in which all things exist. And God is everywhere present. And one of the big keys to how we teach and understand the first principle is that God is the only presence, the one presence, which means that in unity we do not teach that there is a being or a force that opposes God.
In other words, we do not prescribe to the teaching about the devil.
About the devil being an entity, a beingness that is constantly battling with God for souls. The devil exists in here, in consciousness. That's the energy that comes forth from within us when we forget our connection to God and we buy into consciousness of things like separation and shame and blame and lack, and then our actions can sometimes turn out somewhat evil. But it's not an outside entity that's separate from and always fighting against God. Does that make sense? You know, all the way through Scripture, it is spoken of as the adversary. Anybody else have an inner critic? That's the adversary of which they are speaking. It's that the inner negating, insulting, harmful voice and energy field that tells us we're not good enough, or we're not okay, or we shouldn't, or we should have. That inner critic, and I don't know about you, but I actually have like a whole committee of them. Different ones with different areas of my life that want to pop in, and that's the adversary. It's inner, it's in consciousness. It's not a separate thing that exists outside of God. So God is that one presence and one power, the container in which all things are held. So that's what we mean when we say God is. God is the one presence, one power, all good, everywhere present, the essence behind, the creative force, the power. You know, God doesn't love. God is love. God is that energy. And then the second principle, so we have God is. Do you remember what the second words are? I am. So the second piece is that I am divinity in expression. I have within me the divine. I am pressed into existence from the energy that is God. And so when we think about this container that holds all things, we exist within this container. We live and move and have our being always and ever in God. We are God expressed. We are holiness mirrored. So we are this. Give me an ooh-ah. I mean, come on. Tell me that wasn't cool. It just showed up out of nowhere. We are individualized. We are individualized expressions pressed out of divinity, encompassed in the divine container that is God. We are one. We are mirroring. We are reflecting. But we are individual and unique. You know, each of these is they're connected and yet individualized. Individualized. And so we have the divine essence within us. And as Leslie read in that principle, you know, are we saying we are God? Not exactly. We are made of Godness. We are not the allness of God, but we are made of the substance of God. And again, I say this often, God, as Reverend Eric Butterworth says, God is not in us like a raisin is in a bun. We are a wave in the ocean. God is the ocean and we are the wave. So we are fully made of that essence, of that presence, and of that energy. And we individualize, we reflect and mirror the divinity. And we are within the fullness of the energy of God. So I am divine. And in unity, we call that individual divine essence the Christ. And Jesus, as our way shower, fully and wholly expressed that divinity within his humanity. The Christ is our individualized expressing of the allness that is God. So God is, I am. Principle number 3 is, I think. This is what our Unity's co-founder, Charles Fillmore, calls the law of mind action. And that law states, thoughts held in mind produce after their kind. So what he is stating in this law, in this third principle, states that the thoughts and beliefs that we hold to, that we give energy to, that we persist with. You know what it feels like to persist with a thought, right? To have it just looping and looping, and it becomes the thing you kind of think about all the time. You might talk about all the time. You might end up dreaming about it, journaling about it, whatever it is. It's persisting. And what he is saying is producing after its kind means those thoughts that we persist in will generate our reality. So our experiences that we have in our lives are a product of the persistent thoughts that we hold. I think means I am, my favorite thing to remind people of is back in, I think, 2008, the movie came out called The Secret. And they call it the law of attraction, but it's the exact same principle, that your thoughts are creating your reality. And I thought it's kind of funny at that point, because the secret is, Unity's been teaching this for 135 years. Wasn't a secret to any of us, but your thoughts are creating. And again, it's about held in mind. This isn't about you just randomly think pink elephant and like boom, it's just going to show up. That's not how it works. It's the things that we give energy to. We give our energy, we give our power to it, we give our attention to it. And when we do that consistently and persistently, then that's what's going to show up for us. And I always say, that's the good news and the bad news. Because sometimes, I don't know about y'all, but sometimes I can get to persisting on some pretty crappy stuff. And then all of a sudden, crappy stuff shows up in my life. So the big question as we do that is, our thoughts are prayers. We heard it in the song, and we are always praying. We are always praying with our thoughts and with our words and with our energy field. So are you praying for what you actually want, or are you praying for what you don't want? Wayne Dyer says worry, which worry tends to be one of those things that is a persistent thought and an energy field. He says worry is using your imagination to create what you don't want. Hang on to that one for a little bit. So God is the allness. God is everywhere present, only good, and is the source from which everything came, the container in which we all exist. I am an individualized expression of God, and so is every other person in existence and who has ever existed and whoever will exist. Every person is God in expression. Yes, even her. Yes, even him. Yes, even them. Everyone is God divinely expressing. There are some people throughout history and existing now and will be more who have completely forgotten their connection to the divine. They've forgotten who God is. They've forgotten who they are, and they're stuck behind a tremendous amount of pain and woundedness. And so how they show up looks like anything but God. But it doesn't mean that the divine isn't there. It's just deeply hidden behind pain and woundedness. So God is, I am, I think. And then the fourth principle is I pray. Because the Unity movement was founded on the teachings of Jesus and the power of prayer. The Unity movement was founded when our co-founder Myrtle Fillmore used 2 years of prayer to heal herself from tuberculosis in 1888. And then people wanted to gather and find out how she did that. And she and her husband Charles had people come to their home and they would pray together. And then they had more and more and more people that wanted to pray together and wanted to be prayed with and prayed for. And so it expanded. And now our prayer movement, which is called Silent Unity, located outside of Kansas City, is a prayer movement that receives over 3 million prayer requests a year from people of all faiths all over the world. That happens by phone, by email. There's an app now. And so we're founded on prayer, the consciousness of prayer and meditation. This is how we anchor these principles, is we spend time in prayer and in quiet meditation, and we feel God's presence all around us. We remind ourselves of God's presence. We remember God is within us. We pray in the space of what our thoughts are and what do we want to create. And so the prayer and meditation piece is a foundational core of this movement and how we apply all of those principles, that we pull all those ideas into the consciousness of prayer. And then, as I said, the fifth principle is I live. I live these principles, not just for an hour on Sunday morning. I go out and live it. And I believe with all my heart, I think I asked this a few weeks ago, but I'm going to ask it again. How many of you have had your life positively changed by the teachings of unity? And so I believe that these principles, which are the essential principles that Jesus taught, this is all the heart of his ministry and his message. Kingdom of heaven is within you. You are the light of the world. There's principles number 1 and 2. Whatever be good, think on these things. Principle number 3. He taught us how to pray with the Lord's Prayer. Principle number 4. So it's all there. And I think these principles, these divine ideas can and will transform this world if we're following principle 5 and living them. And the real key is, like, we got to live them. We're living them here, right here and right now in this moment, of course, because we're here in this room with all these joyful, loving, unity people, and we're hearing beautiful music, and we've got a gorgeous meditation and a cool magic trick message that I'm doing. So we're living those unity principles now. But what about when you walk out the door? What about when you get to the roundabout? What about when you have a rude waitress at lunch? What about when you get a phone call with challenging medical results? What about when the bank account gets lower than you need it to be? What about when you turn on the news or open up social media? That's when we've got to live it. That's when the rubber meets the road, is we've got to meet the challenges of the world, the struggles of the world, the pain of the world, the hurt, the atrocities. We've got to meet that with these principles and know God is in even the atrocities, because nothing else can be true, because God's the only presence and the only power everywhere present. So we have to see it and know and say, that's not a good thing. That's an awful thing that's happening. And God is in the midst of it. So I will affirm God is in the midst of it. And God is in the essence of the people involved in it. And so I go to prayer to lift that situation, those people in that circumstance, into the light. That's what we're called to do. That's what we're called to do. Because I think, Jesus said, the works I do, you will do, and greater works than these. And I think the greater works are facing us right now. The challenges of the world. And meeting those from the spiritual perspective, from the holy space, and from the truth with a capital T, that's the greater work we're called to right here and right now. Because we are a reflection of the divine. We are an expression of the divine. And we have all the power within us to create positive transformation in our lives, in our neighborhoods, in our communities, and in our world. We have the power within us. Our way shower promised it and called us to use it. And so I hope that you are ready to step in and join me. Namaste.
Jesus. Here we go. Jim. Thank you, Jim.
Just hang out.
Okay, here we go. 1, 2, 3, and.
Gonna turn this trickle into a flow, saying hello to a new life. Gonna let the riches in my life grow. Now it's my time, this is my time to be everything that I dream I can be in my life. And I know that prosperity starts in my mind, here and now, here and now. Now I dive right into a sea of joy, going deeper to my treasure, and I drink in every precious drop. I am richer, so much richer, and I have everything that I truly deserve, and there's more. And I know that prosperity starts in my mind, here and now, here and now. I allow, I enjoy, I receive, I embrace, I commit, I invite, I believe. I open up my arms to this big wide world, saying come on, bring it all on. Gonna ease on down this yellow brick road, full of wonder, so much wonder. I can be everything that I choose to be in my life. And I know that prosperity starts in my mind, here and now, here and now. I allow, I enjoy, I receive, I embrace, I commit, I invite, I believe, here and now, here and now, I enjoy, here and now, I receive, here and now, I embrace, here and now, I commit, here and now, I invite, here and now, I believe, here and now.
Oh, nice job. Am I in the clear now? Well, more will be revealed, because the reason that we had the idea of having a little song come up was because this is a part of the service where I, as a spiritual care team member, will talk about, giving, prosperity, the prosperity message, the giving. And this is a true story. Marty and I were just down there in Northport the other day, and I dropped her off at Ross, and then I went next door to Marvel, once again at Dick's Sporting Goods, exorbitantly high prices. I was in the section for the balls and the bats and the sporting goods, and there were two cute little boys with their mother. They must have been 4 or 5. And the one kid looks at his mom and says, "Mommy, I wish we could just get something for nothing." And so I thought of Dire Straits, Something for Nothing. Yeah, and your chicks for free. Because that was followed by the other little boy who thought he was getting back on track, I guess. He said, Mommy, I just want everything to be free. And I smiled and said to the mom, yes, don't we all? But later on, I was thinking about that little experience and the thought of coming and presenting this here at church. And, you know, it's been a problem with me since I've been in the spiritual care team, because we're always trying to come up with new ideas for prosperity and new, and what's new, and, you know, are these rocks new, or are these stones new? I don't know. But what I have learned for me is that prosperity is not about so much what I want, but it's about focusing on what I have. And with that, I'd like to invite the ushers forward, and please take out your offering in your hands. We are going to go through with this, so. And if you filled out the information card in the basket today, and you're a new person, please just deposit that in the woven baskets. With that, I'd like you to take your check or your money or your new rocks. That may not sound too good. No, just take your money, put that in your hand, and I invite you to say the following offering blessing with me. Divine love, use me, blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I give, and all that I receive. I am blessed. Amen.
Okay. Here we go. 4 beats. 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and. I wandered in the Venice Unity bookstore one day. I saw a big old bowl of pocket Jesus on display. When I inquired what is the reason for those little guys,
For just $1, he'll change your luck.
Mary sees replies, when I have Jesus in my pocket, all is well. If I was lying, you can surely tell. My life is so much better, as you can plainly see. I'm in the light when my friend pocket Jesus is with me. Yes, I know. Since that Sunday morning, I completely changed my life. I'm on the go, I'm in the flow, and free of stress and strife. I'm one of God's magnificent creations, that's no lie. All because I keep my pocket Jesus at my side. When I have Jesus in my pocket, all is well. If I was lying, you could surely tell. My life is so much better, as you can plainly see. I'm in the light when my friend pocket Jesus is with me. When I have Jesus in my pocket, all is well. If I was lying, you can surely tell. My life is so much better, as you can plainly
Oh, I hope Mary's watching online to have seen that. She's home today. Oh, thank you, Jamie. An original Jamie Marshall song. Oh, so we are just overflowing with joy and good, with the light and life and love of God in our lives, in our hearts, in this ministry. So we know the law is at work. So we are prepared to welcome those blessings coming back to us, heaped up, pressed down, shaken together, and running over. For that's the law, and so it is. Amen. So just a few quick announcements. Melanie, if you want to make your way up here while I'm talking about a couple of other things. The first is that this coming Friday is the sound healing sound bath experience with Sound Alternative, and that's for the first Friday of the month. Doors open at 6. It starts at 6:30, and you just bring your comfy blanket or a pillow or a yoga mat or a lawn chair. You find a comfy spot here, and for a whole hour you just get infused with the healing vibration of music. So that's happening this coming Friday. The other thing is we have our school supply drive going this week, and usually we hand out a list, but we discovered basically any school supplies, anything in the school supply section is needed. And so we're asking you to have those back by next Sunday. You can bring them by if you come during the week for anything. You can bring them by because we need to get them delivered to the South County Food Pantry in time to make sure that the students get them before school starts, which is August 11th. Sorry, I had to mention. And yeah, the South County Food Pantry has done this for us for a number of years because children of all grades from all schools in the South Sarasota County, their families are served there, and so the Food Pantry knows how to make sure that those things get distributed. So we appreciate and welcome, and this time of year, usually, I think Walmart and Publix both typically do like buy one, get one sales on stuff like that. So anything you can bring will be helpful. So next Sunday is the last day we can accept them because they're being delivered on Tuesday. So thank you for that. And Melanie wants to talk about an upcoming book club.
Hello. One of my favorite things about this church is all of the opportunities that we have to share our faith with one another and therefore learn from each other. So I'm really excited to announce that we are starting a year-round book club. It will meet the first Tuesday of each month from 11 to 12:30 in the YOU room. Our very first meeting will be Tuesday, September 2nd, and we'll be reading Jamie's new book, Even Angels Have Runny Noses. Just checking to make sure you're listening.
I better get busy.
Maybe for October. You got a good goal. Okay, so the first book will be The Four Agreements, which many of you probably have already read. That is by Don Miguel Ruiz, and Mary has stocked us up in the bookstore with that. This club will be a lot like other book clubs that you may have been in, where it will be self-led. So each month, the participants that are there will suggest books from various genres, all relating to faith and spirituality, and then we'll vote on that book, and then we'll read it and discuss it the following month. There is a flyer and a sign-up sheet out front, right by the front door. And if you're interested in coming but can't come during the day and you'd like an evening book club, if we get enough interest, we'd be happy to do that as well. There's a sign-up sheet out there with my number on it, and you can just text me that you'd prefer to come in the evenings. Also, if you want to just read along and not come to the book club, that's great too. Watch for that book. It'll be put in the weekly newsletter as well as being on Facebook. And I look forward to seeing you there. Thank you.
Thanks so much, Melanie. Thank you. Okay. All right, so our wonderful children are on their way in, and our YOUers have a few things to say. They've been on a couple of big adventures in the last month, one to their summer connection in Georgia, and the other, there's a group of them that just came back from Unity Village, so they want to tell you just a little bit about that when they come in. So if somebody can prop open the back door, then we will welcome our children in.
The seashells, I love the sandy beach, I love the shark's teeth, I love the manatees, I love the whole world and all the sights and sounds. Boom-de-yada, 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 boom-de-yada. I love the fellowship, I love to co-create, I love the Christ light, I love to meditate, I love the whole world, it's such a brilliant place. Boom-de-yada, boom-de-yada, boom-de-yada.
our numbers are up, right? You know that? This is going to be a brief but wonderful summation of how our church and our kids contributed to the overall yumminess of youth ministries around the world. How about that? Our church went to Summer Connection. We have a first-time sponsor who went with me, Jameson DeNoyven. He was so spectacular that the region asked him to come and help them with the Unitine retreat, which happened 3 weeks later. And we just got back from IYOU, which was at Unity Village. And I would like to thank everybody who had a part in supporting this ministry and making all that possible. I'm sorry. We're gonna share some pictures with you and let the kids speak about their experience. I would be remiss if I didn't draw attention to our lovely guest speaker who came, and Amelia Valerie was a member of this church, is a member of this church. She was both a regional representative in the Southeast region and an ND with International YOU, and she came and presented for our teens today. So, round of applause for Amelia.
Good morning. My name is Addie, and I just recently attended my first Summer Connection, and I experienced so much love from everyone. And if I'm being honest, it was hard being the new person, but everyone made me feel so welcomed and comfortable. We had these family groups of just a few people from different regions, and we had to answer questions related to the theme of the rally. Getting to know everyone in my family group on a deeper level made me feel so at ease. I'm so incredibly grateful for the amazing experience I had at my first rally, and I'm so excited to go back. Thank you.
Good morning. I've been here for quite a while, as we know. I've been to plenty of retreats. This past retreat was really, I think it was really impactful for me. One of our best friends both of our best friends were Regis, and they did an amazing job. But this was also my first time ever going to IYOU, which I didn't really fully grasp what it was until I was there. The flight there was so fun because I flew with Ewan and Lily and my co-Regi, because I'm becoming a Regi. Anyways, it was just really beautiful just being there. Like, it's its own little village. It has its own sort of surrounding. It's very safe feeling, and it's very beautiful. It was an amazing experience. And again, I know you guys were already thanked, but I would like to thank you all again for supporting us with this, because I believe that I would be a complete different person had it not been for going to these events. I think I used to start off as quite a shy person, I like to believe, but and not much self-confidence. But going to these retreats where everyone fosters a very comforting environment and a very accepting environment, I think that helped me become who I am and encourage other people to be great as well. So thank you all. Mwah.
I've been to a couple YOU retreats, and I think a common theme with all of them is like Addie said, the love there. It is a different experience, and it is really amazing to see people my age share that love with each other and also have them be leading each other, because it is youth-led, and seeing the lessons and the themes and the ideas that they bring to the table and sharing them with the people around them is really nice. It is really amazing. And for IYOU, we went to Unity Village, and the campus there is very beautiful. There's a lot of nature there. It's very refreshing and very peaceful. And I also think that I would not be the same person I am right now without going to some of these retreats. So I would also like to thank the people who have supported us and let us experience that. So thank you.
This was my last YU event ever, which is really sad because I graduated. I thought last year was going to be my last YU event, but I ended up going to college, so I couldn't go to IY last year. And then I was begging Julie over email. I was like, please let me go to IY this year. Please let me graduate with all my friends. And she let me go. And so this experience has kind of taught me that, like, I am grown up now, and I am an adult, and like this is like it's time for me to move on from this point in my life. But that being said, I wouldn't be who I am without YOU or Uniteens and any of the events that I had gone to in my younger years and in my recent years. I've met so many amazing people. My good friend Tristan, we were Regies together. I love him with all my heart. We talk every day, and he's all the way up in Atlanta, and we're still going to be in touch. And that's how I feel with a lot of the people that I met this past IY as well. I've met so many amazing people and reconnected with the people that I met 2 years ago at my first IY. So I'm really grateful that I was given this opportunity to finally release myself from what would have been if I never went to IY again. And I feel complete, and I am unbelievably grateful, if I haven't said it already, that I was able to grow up in Unity and meet all of you wonderful people and all the wonderful people at these events. And I am who I am today because of it, and I thank you all. Thank you.
Unity of Venice congregation, we love you, we bless you, and we truly appreciate you, and we behold the Christ in you. We love you, we love you, we really, really love you. Mwah!
And I can echo the sentiment that they all just said. I would 100% not be who I am doing what I do if it wasn't for the Youth of Unity and my time there. And she briefly mentioned it, but I just wanted to acknowledge Holly, who is carrying on a fantastic tradition we have in our church, and she has just been elected to be one of the Southeast Regional representatives for the next year. She's our fourth in like 6 years. I don't remember when LJ did it, but we've had, because Lily and Amelia, and yeah, so we've got a pretty powerful group here. So thank you all so much for that, and thank all of you for your financial support is what sends them to these events and supports them in the life-changing spiritual experiences they have there. So thank you so much. God's Cafe is open for a wonderful lunch. Let's stand for our peace song and the prayer for protection.